So this is just a little rough walk through the new home. Bedroom is back there. Kitchen, fridge. I just have a whole bunch of stuff from the bunk room that's going to become my tattoo studio all stacked here. This is one of the beds. That's the cushion there. This is the bathroom. Lovely bathroom with a door to the outside, shower, flush toilet. And here, should have had the door closed and opened it, but here is the tattoo studio. There is a lovely little bunk bed. I'm going to take this thing off. I'm not going to have any kids up there, so that's cool. That's where clients will be able to sleep unless they want to tent it. Eventually I'll have a little cabin separate for them to have their own little space as well, but this is just for now. And then here, let me just set up this camera. I have, this is kind of the, just give it a surface. There's the final bunk that I got to take out. And I just took all the screws out of this part. Let's see if this comes off easily. But those are on the shelf. And let's see. Oh, look at that. Teddy bear bunk series. Very cute. That can go out there. This will just keep going. Destroy the place. It came off way quicker than I thought. So I'm going to put this just out in the main area for now. And let's just turn on some. Well, let's move this up first. One thing at a time. Sorry for jiggling the camera. It's sort of tight space. And now let's put on some lights. For now. And kind of give you, I'm going to take those little wooden slats off of there. And basically, this is our lovely Nomad tattoo studio. Gonna take those off. Let's just put you guys down here. Click that up a bit there. And I want to just take these guys off. So we definitely don't need those. Or this thing. And it's ugly. Not a lot of artistry here, but I guess kids would wreck something anyways, so they figured rough and tumble kind of fix up. There's one screw. There's another screw. Is that all of them? There's probably one more. Another one here. Always surprises, by the way. Should just let you know. This morning, not without its challenges. Got a call from my lawyer, my real estate lawyer, and the guy who has the house that we moved out of is going through some sort of hissy fit. So I'm having to sort all that out right now. And I did a little bit of investigating before I got too angry, because it got me very frustrated. From what I heard, he doesn't want me on the property going over to feed my chickens, and he doesn't want me to take my chicken coop, and now is claiming that it's rightfully his because it's attached to the ground, even though we agreed that it's mine. And he hates chickens. Him and his wife hate chickens. They're all weirded out by chicken poop. So that's fine, you know, let him throw his fit and stuff, but I'm trying to just do my research and find out what the hell. Try to be nice on the videos and stuff and saying, oh, you know, I'd say nice things about him all the time, and I won't say anything nasty, but he's not, I'm not enjoying him at the moment. You can say that, and we'll see how things unfold. But I'm trying to straighten things out, so I'm trying to get the background on where things went awry, and it seems like my real estate agent left things, so it's kind of a bit of each. So seems like it's a bit of my real estate agent's messiness, things that she evidently, I don't know for sure, evidently listed, and has given him the sense that he is rightfully the owner of my generator, which I offered to sell him and he didn't want to buy it. Now he thinks it's his, and he thinks the chicken coop is his, even though he doesn't like chickens. So my lawyer said, oh, they want you to take your chickens, get off the premises, and leave the chicken coop, which is theirs, and I owe them the generator, and I owe them the 2 freezers, which is another whole story. So anyways, it's this whole big drama coming up now, and my challenge is to not get sucked into it, find the best way to get clarity, because that's where all the confusion and stuff comes. But mainly is to not get drawn into the drama. It's his drama. But I'll tell you, it's taken me 5 years to start to fit into this area. And if he thinks he can go around swinging his words and power trips and stuff, and also I must say, I don't want to say too much about details of that, it's not important, but it's just my challenge to not get pulled in. But he was one of those kind of buyers that wrote the most crazy, ridiculous, scribbly stuff onto the contract or the offer, and it just got really confusing after a while. And also, while me and Raven are dealing with her cancer situation and her surgery, I'm trying to just make ends meet. And that's when I did the crowdfunder for her medicines. So while that's all happening, and we don't have a computer, so we're doing this whole deal back and forth sporadically with the DocuSign. Most of you might know about that, where you just touch a thing and leave your signature, and this is on a phone, so everything's really small. And I'm trying to look at the deal, the offer, through the phone, because we can't do anything in real, so no one can come over with papers, actual papers. And so the way it looks, it's partially the buyer, partially my agent, and partially lockdown that are responsible for this confusion. And now my buyer, or the buyer, is just thinking he should have everything. And frankly, he got a very good deal on a very good house, and now he just wants it all. He just wants it all. It's like greed, neurosis, I don't know what. But it's cool. I think that the universe has given this to me as a challenge. At least that's how I'm going to look at it. And at first I felt like an overload because I was already dealing with so much stuff. And it was an overload for a moment. Somewhere there's another screw. yeah, I was kind of pleased with myself because I didn't go into a full overload, and I've taken everything I've learned so far, and I just sat down and I started to make phone calls. Started to try and sort out, like a little investigator, Sherlock Holmes, where this was all coming from. Went over to their house, knocked on the door, tried calling him, didn't answer. His wife answered and said, "Oh, no, no," like basically kind of sounded like she was denying that there was any issue, which is kind of sort of when I talked to him, it sounded, it's like they smile in my face and then call the lawyer on me. So it's just really odd. But we will persevere. I will not allow myself to get baited. But I'm also thinking about my chickens. And my chicken house. And how I'm going to get around this sticky spot. He thinks or at least he's saying that he thinks one of his concerns is that somehow we're going to destroy the place taking the coop out, which I assured him I have experts working for me who built the fence itself, which he's worried I'm going to ruin the fence. So we have to take out one fence post, roll back the fencing to allow a space to bring the chicken coop out. And then I'm getting my very expensive electrician, very good electrician, to where he disconnects the power to put in an outlet for him. And I don't have to do that. I could just tie it off, have it tied off and whatever. But I said, no, I want to be really good to these people. You know, I want to help them through all this, because I had a real hard time integrating. I got ripped off by a lot of people. I now know who not to deal with and who to deal with. I was going to pass this all on to them. I was going to basically nurture them through this, teach them, you know, all the things where I got stuck and I got overloaded. And I'll tell you, it was difficult. Well, if this is, you know, the way he wants to play things, that's fine. You know, if he wants to be this isolated person where no one wants to talk to him, and you know, he has to bring in contractors and stuff from out of the area, from Toronto or something, like, let him. You know what, it's not my trip. You know, he's not my kid. I'm not his parent. So I know where I stand, and it's all going to be good. But I thought I'd just mention it because it is part of my being transparent. And why? What would I even mention a little bit like that? Well, it's what's happening as it comes up. So to leave it out would be creating a false front. But also, hopefully, you might see that gradually I'm dealing with things better. We'll find out. And then hopefully people that are going through their own shit get to kind of learn what can come up. Now, once again, to go over that, lockdown and all these crazy rules that they have was very largely to play for this, allowing for this confusion, because I couldn't sit and look over a proper document and read through it. And when there's hen scratches just jotted in here and around there and changing things, I found it pretty overwhelming. I couldn't understand what the hell, and I was like, what the, you know. And he also did a lot of verbal stuff. He was really into verbalizing, and I found very shady. Wanted me to drop my agent and him drop his, and we do a private deal. As if I said, I don't care whether I like my agent or don't like my agent. I have integrity. I'm not gonna fuck around. We're going by the books. And yeah, I don't know. Just seems a bit weaselly, a bit neurotic, a bit. He deserves everything. So we'll see how things unfold. But I'm starting to see some interesting patterns of how some people will come in just righteous and thinking that everything's owed to them, and how it is received. Well, how I feel and how others respond to it. It's not a good way to enter a small town, I'll tell you that much. I mean, I had a hard time and I didn't have those attitudes. In fact, I was kind of a little too much the other way, which is partly why I got ripped off by a lot of contractors and stuff, especially that plumber who had the ditch dug to the barn and did a horrible job. Had a young guy do it all at night. I was kind of wondering, why is he doing this at night? It's probably so I didn't have time to complain or something. But, you know, and it's supposed to be 4 feet deep for plumbing. Water not to freeze. And it was sometimes 4, sometimes 3, sometimes 3.5. Zigzagging everywhere. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. I know my field of work. And if ever there's a problem in the winter, you just call me and I'll come over personally and dig it up myself. And when that did happen, I called him up and he never answered my call. Isn't that kind of interesting? So, would I ever recommend SKS Plumbing? No. Now that's, of course, how I see it. I'm not making a judgment on someone. I'm just saying what happened to me. But no, I would not deal with that company ever again. And I wouldn't ever recommend anyone else deal with it. So now I've got my bunk bed that will be for clients right here. Covers underneath for some of my tattoo stuff. Just need to get these little things off the wall. Oh, that's kind of funky angle. There. So this part, for those of you that haven't been in trailers and stuff before, I haven't until I started shopping for one. I always associated trailers with trailer park, you know, that whole trailer trash thing. It's amazing. I'm learning. There I am, guilty of buying into stereotypes. Now I have no idea what's going to be under this, so I may be putting it back on if it looks ugly. No, just dots and holes. There's a little bit there, but nothing I can't fix. There. I was also chatting with the guys who are putting in the electrical, and one of them thinks it's not a good idea to try. I was going to put in a wood stove, professionally have it put in, and they thought it was not a good idea to have holes put in through this structure. It would compromise things, and definitely if I intended to sell it again, it would make it difficult to sell. Kind of resonates with me. I think there's some sensibility in that, and I'm going to really think it through. So I've definitely got some holes to fill in to make this look nicer. But that's not a problem. That's where my artistic side comes in. I'm very, very good with... I actually took courses way back before I fully launched into professional tattooing in faux finishing, trompe-l'oeil, which is like creating illusions of like a fake window painted on or something, or a hole in a scene behind. Trompe-l'oeil, faux finishing, and you know, creating fake marble textures and granite and things. So I'll be very, very good at filling these in and finding a way to just give that a nice feel. So a million creative ways. But anyway, so going back to the idea of not putting a fireplace in, which would mean knocking a hole in somewhere to put a chimney coming out. I'm thinking of What do you guys think? I'd love to get some feedback, comments on this. I really would benefit from it greatly. So I'm thinking of, for winterizing this, and I was also told that it's very difficult to winterize the trailer to be really comfortable, not freeze to death. So I'm thinking there is the basic winterizing where you shove straw bales underneath, because I've got to have water running. So I got to figure and search all that out so I can stop water from freezing. Put the straw bales under, put a skirt around. There's a bunch of things like that. But I'm wondering, and I don't know what it would cost, but in a sense, building a light structure over this. So kind of like a carport. So a roof on maybe 6 posts, nice and sturdy. That will stop snow from landing on this roof, which is one of the iffy things with the trailer. You got to keep cleaning that off, and that's, it does wear through things. So that would stop some wear and tear, and it would definitely have a subtle insulative type effect. Cut down on wind. I'd have my post coming down around. I'd have it come out enough that there would be a little bit of a kind of a patio area, balcony, veranda type of thing if I wanted. And then I could also, I was thinking, build a kind of a mud room, like a 10 by 10-ish little building that would be like a atrium foyer type of structure that can't be screwed onto this. I can't put holes or anything into the walls of the fiberglass. Don't want to. But I'm thinking if there's a way, almost like a padded edge, that when pushed up against the trailer seals in itself. And then attach it to the structure, which keeps it pressed against. So then you'd walk in the door of that. It would be big enough that I could have like a washer dryer, the wood stove, and then have a fan if I need it. Put the fan on as well. I can have a screen door open, closed, that sort of thing. And then in any cold times, I can just turn on that wood stove. The chimney goes straight up through the structure, not through here. And then that hot air comes right in through here. It's a small enough building. I think it wouldn't be that difficult, but then I've never done anything like this before. I'm just imagining what I think would work. And then I also don't know, I think that would be fairly sort of on a budget, because I am on a super budget, because I'm got to save up just to get a well put in. So I'm hoping before the end of the year I can afford to spend $30,000 to get my well done, and whatever money it would take to do this. I'm thinking it's less wood than something else, so even though the wood's so expensive, that's something I can work with. I don't know, maybe I could even use cedar posts or something. That's what I'm gonna talk to an awesome builder, carpenter, who built our barn before, and just see what he has to say. I definitely would value his ideas, and just even bouncing things off of him and what he thinks. Like maybe my idea is absolutely crap, or maybe it's something to build upon. I don't know. But then I was thinking, if I have that structure, I could also frame it a little bit and put, if I wanted to be able to see through it, I don't want to make the whole place dark. So I'm thinking just it's like a corrugated plastic sheeting stuff. They use it for sort of a low-cost window thing, or for a roofing on something where they want the sun to come through still. I use it for my chicken run I just took apart. It's been used on our barn. I noticed it's used on the shed. So something like that. I guess last resort is not as pretty. I could just stretch thick plastic, like vapor barrier or something like that, around, which is what I did to the chicken run too. So that would be a real temporary, cheaper thing if I don't want to go through the other cost as well. But I'm just thinking, if I do that, I've got that space with either kind of plastic as a wind barrier. It stops snow from getting right up close to the trailer as well. That will really help with keeping it in good condition, aside from minimizing the whole, well, winterizing, getting it to where it's easy to heat. And then with the sort of mezzanine mudroom atrium thing, whatever you want to call it, entranceway, it also stops cold from getting directly in, because we can open that door, get in, then open the door here and come in. So that's kind of where my mind's going. And that also takes the stress off of me for having to sort of, right now that shed is just full of stuff. I'm going to need to have, when I have time, go through it, thin it out, and start figuring out what I don't need. And that's part of this whole process, is figuring what do I need, what do I not need. Because I think this is part of why I'm being pushed into this, is to thin out and learn what is necessary, what is not. I mean, even dealing with wanting to minimize my electrical uses, I'm looking into ways of cutting that down. Like I'm even looking at Aladdin lamps, if you know what those are. They're like a kerosene lamp. Just ways of cutting down on unnecessary, wasteful costs. And I think if I make it fun, and there's so many good YouTubes to give me ideas. I love the Layman's catalog. I've always loved that. I mentioned it before in a video or two. But anyways, that's what my research is going to be, is learning how to keep costs low. I don't want to go back into debt, and it's so much a slippery slope. That's why I'm glad we didn't get financing for the trailer, even though we now have to hold off on the well. Hopefully just till later on in the year. As soon as I can get some business going again, which just reminds me, anyone interested in soulprints, most of you know what I do. You can look up Urban Primitive website, urbanprimitive.com. You can look on Facebook, Damon Rowanchild. Lots of information there if you want to kind of research what I do. My issue is that the government has decided that they know what is essential businesses and what is non-essential businesses, and they've decided I am a non-essential business. Well, I decided differently, and basically I believe that when it gets to a point that one's survival is at risk, it changes the laws. I know that there's a law, that all the laws about hunting, if you are starving, you can break those laws. You can hunt a deer off season. It's a matter of you dying or not, and you were out in the bush, and you got one bullet in your gun, you're not going to be charged for hunting off season because you were doing it to survive. Well, I'm going to be working to survive, and that's it. So I'm just going to do what I have to do. So I'm inviting anyone that wants to book with me, come down and have an amazing experience. We're going to keep it kind of low. I'm not going to go around broadcasting things. That's why I'm calling it, just using the term soulprint for those that know, and those that don't, you can do a little bit of research into what Damon Rowanchild does. That way I don't incriminate myself. And I'm not saying on here when I'm starting, but I am going to take people who email me at abundanceforlife, abundance4life@gmail.com, or bodyart@urbanprimitive.com. Email me and we can discuss things. I can put you on a list. And as far as this video goes, we'll just say for when I'm allowed to work. And then I'll get back to you. We'll discuss when we can arrange things. And I'll get back to you and book you an appointment. Come on down. Who knows? I got some other ideas, but this is the new studio. It's going to be amazing. These sessions are going to be like nothing else. And I can't wait to get started. I can't wait to see you guys. I can't wait to do more healing. It's what I've done all my life. And no one's going to stop me. And if they want to throw fines everywhere, well, they can squeeze blood out of a stone if they want to try. But it's not going to happen. I'll call it food security. On the grounds of food security, I need to provide for myself, provide for my wife, provide for my wife's healing. She has cancer, for those that don't know. And I have a right to provide, put food on the table, put a roof over our heads, and no one's going to take that away from me, and no one should be able to take it away from you. So if you're in a similar situation, I suggest you get thinking, because do not let them push you into a hole and, in essence, tear you to shreds, to eliminate you, in other words. If enough of us say this is enough, we can make a difference. Government is not there to rule over you. They are to take care of the people. But what are they doing now? They're doing the opposite. They're ruling over us. They're extending lockdown to December now. Screw them. Fuck you. I will provide for my family. So people that are willing, privately, quietly, contact me. We'll figure out when we can book appointments. Not going to commit to anything right now. Still got to think things through. And yeah, creativity is going to find a way through blocks and barriers. And I am not going to let people get me down and to crumble what I am, who I am, and what I can do. And I hope no one else allows this to happen either. So, what have I got? I got all these off. Now I'm just going to tidy up a little bit. I might even try and find my soul printing equipment and start fitting it in here. See what works, what fits, what my best strategy is. I'm really loving this space. I've worked in smaller spaces. It's beautiful. It's not cluttered. It's going to be relaxing. It'll be an adventure for me. It'll be an adventure for you. Yeah. Start reaching out. Send me an email, and we can discuss things and go from there. So have a wonderful day. You'll probably at least see another video today. I posted one little cute one this morning with little Alvin the chipmunk that was eating my granola. So I had to get a different box. That one's his granola now. I'm going to clean up all this mess and then start setting up my studio. And that's a good positive thing to do while I wait for my lawyer to get back to me and the owner of the old place to get back to me. And at some point I'm going to reach out to my agent as well. And just get things organized and move forward. It's time to move forward, not get angry. Get things done. Get her done. Get her done. That's what we're going to do. Don't take no for an answer. You are you. You have your power. They cannot take that power away from you. Find yourself if you haven't. Start working on it. This is the time to do it. So, love you guys. Talk to you soon.